practice time this season, let alone at full strength. So this new format, giving you guys a better part of a week off, how have you guys used it to your advantage, and what's it been like practicing at full strength?
It's been very, very good. Especially we've had to deal with so many things throughout the course of the year, like every other team. Scheduling, injuries, or whatnot, but no excuses. So we just take this opportunity in this week to prepare, for ourselves and for now in Boston. First couple of days was mostly about ourselves, and kind of like locking in some details, making sure everybody was on the same page. And then now, today was similar. And then, tomorrow we'll get into Boston, things that they like to do, and obviously, their scouting report. But it's been great. We were able to focus on ourselves, and that's the most important thing.
Your first playoff run in Brooklyn, you've been playing in front of Barclays Center's crowds that have been about 10%. They're going to have a lot more people in the building for this postseason run. How much juice does that give you, and what can that do for the basketball team?
What's a lot more fans? What's that?
I can't give the specific number. It's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more.
Like I've said before, like I've said plenty of times, the fans, here in New York is one of the reasons why I wanted to play here. So I'm excited. Regular season was, we were getting there. Now it's going to be a lot more fans, a lot more exciting, a lot more noise, and hopefully, a home court advantage. So I'm excited. I know the fans are. I know, the organization is, and can't wait to get going.
Malika Andrews, ESPN.
Hey, James, I'm wondering, you've talked about the load that you have had to carry in past places, and coming here now, you feel like you're turning to other guys and saying, I'm going to take on varying different roles. I don't feel like I need to do it all myself. I'm wondering how that feels different potentially now as you're heading into the playoffs, looking around at who's around you, if that makes this preparation and potentially the outlook of your playoff run feel any different.
It's still going to be difficult. No matter what, like the road and the journey is still going to be tough. It's going to be difficult. So I think the mindset is still going to be the same thing. Like whatever it takes, trying to be the best player I can be on the floor every single night for my team. So that mentality, that mindset never changes. It's just some of the scoring and some of the things that I had to do offensively. I can step back a little bit, take a step back and kind of focus in on the other things. That's huge. And like we've talked about it today in these last few days, that we got to bring, several things. Obviously scoring is not one of them, but our defensive mindset, that has to happen like every single possession of games. And if we can get that, the faster we can get that, it's going to be pretty tough for teams to beat us, because defensively, if we can get stops, offensively, we score so efficiently that, you can't catch up to us.
And speaking of defensive efforts, I mean, when you're looking at a guy like Jayson Tatum having 50, having already had 60 in a game this season, what kind of threats does he pose? What are you going to have to do?
He scores in bunches, and he scores from all over the court. So it's not just one player that is going to guard him. It got to be a team effort. We got to know where he is on the floor. We got to know as we watch and we get more detailed into his scouting. We got to know where he likes the ball, what's his go-tos, and kind of limit that. And it's going to take 5 guys on the court. But we're confident, and one thing we can't happen is let a guy, score 30, 40 on us comfortably, and as much as we can watch film and know where he likes his spots, which we pretty already got a sense. But once we, kind of slow him down, then, we got to worry about the rest of the team as well. So they're very well coached, and, I can't give you as much detail as I want to because we haven't watched film, but just know we'll be prepared.
Thank you, and nice playoff braids.
All right, thanks.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
James, we often hear players or coaches say, we just need to do what we do best. If you do what you do best as a team, is this an NBA championship club?
1,000%. Some teams say we just need to do what we do best, and that's just not good enough sometimes, But for us, that's a great quote, and if we do that, then we definitely have a chance. But we have some work to do, and it's not going to be easy, but, we just got to stay focused and take one day at a time, one game at a time, one possession at a time, and we'll be in good hands.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
James, I've got two for you. First of all, after that long layoff, you've only had the 2 games, and you were in such an unbelievable rhythm before. How difficult is it to get back to that same point? That's number one. And then number two, because you had so little time with Kai and Kev, have you guys tried to talk through things a little bit more about how to approach things in the playoffs?
Get back to what point?
Well, you were so efficient in that run before the injury. Your stats haven't been quite the same in these 2 games back. You haven't been quite as prolific. Do you feel like you're 100% right now?
Yeah, I'm back. I thought winning was all that matters. I mean, when I was doing the stats and putting up the numbers, and it wasn't good enough. So I mean, at some point we got to figure out what we're talking about. But it's all about winning. Like, I don't care about stats, my impact, and don't have to show up on the stat sheet for us to win. Today in practice, I had 0 points and we won. So it's like, but just I think as long as I think my job as a leader is to make sure everybody's playing well, and if I'm doing that, I can focus on myself last. Like, that's not a problem at all. And what was your second question?
Have you and KD and Kai about what to do, because you haven't had much time?
Yeah, we're in constant communication. We talk, basically all day about what we need to do. Our kind of approach to the game. And I think mostly it's not about offense, it's about defense, and things that we can correct, things that we can get better on, things we need to get better on. And I think we all know that, us 3 and then our entire team and coaching staff as well. So not for one bit, I don't think our offense is going to be a problem, just because we're dealing with so many, 3 of the most unselfish, guys in this league, and 3 of the most skilled and talented guys in this league. I know my role. I know what I need to do. And I know, what Kai and Kevin can do on that basketball court scoring wise. So I don't need to compete with them. My job is to go out there and make their job a little bit easier. And if I can do that, then, I'm doing my job.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Going on, James. I also got 2 for you. First, would it be fair to say that the team as is right now is the healthiest it's been since you've arrived in the trade midseason? And what does it feel like to now have all, except for Spencer, obviously, all those pieces on the practice floor together, and obviously Joe, who needs to get better before the playoffs start? But what's it like for you having everybody around?
Joe's good. He just needed a little break. That's all that was. But it feels good, man. Just, when I first got here, Nick was rehabbing, and now it feels good to have our entire team, obviously except for Spence, but just our entire team. And this week has been so great for us so far because we've been able to, talk and watch film and kind of get on the same page. We've been in our lineups, and guys have just, there's a lot going on. Now we can kind of focus on one opponent, for however long, and just, control what we control. Obviously, injuries is a part of the game, but just control what we control on both ends of the ball, and we can live with the results. But it feels good to have everybody on the court, and in practice today, we kind of got after it a little bit, so it felt good.
And second, I write at the intersection of basketball and food, and this picture of you went viral from the other game with you holding a smoothie baseline, huge smoothie. You guys were up 18. Yeah, well, however, I think at the point you guys were up 18. I'm just wondering, number one, were you a smoothie guy before you came to Brooklyn? It seems like everybody comes to Brooklyn now, they're holding smoothies in their hands. And do you have like a go-to smoothie flavor, or why?
Honestly, I love smoothies before I got to Brooklyn. And then, I think shout out to the cooking staff and Chef Marlon, and just the everybody in the back that prepares the food. They do an unbelievable job of making sure our food is on point, making sure we're getting the right nutrients in for our bodies or whatnot. But those shakes are elite, man. You got the small ones, you got the big boys. I have to go big boy for the game. So they're really good though. Right.
Real quick, the people want to know what flavor you had.
Honestly, I don't even know. Like, I just tell him to cook it up for me, like, do your stuff, and he just, he hooked me up. So honestly, I don't know what it is, but it tastes good and it's good for me. So I'm rocking with it.
Thank you.
Gary Washburn with Boston Globe.
Hey, James. You discussed like your matchups with Marcus Smart over the years. And do defenders, now that you're more of a facilitator, guard you? Or because obviously in Houston, there were guys who were like, just stop him, do whatever you takes, push him, whatever. But now that you're a facilitator, are you defended differently by some of these guys who were, quote unquote, were designed to stop you before?
I don't know. Like, I don't even pay attention to it. Where do you go? Oh, I don't even pay attention to it. I just play the game. Like, guys, obviously it's gonna be different just because you got, myself and Kai and KD. So, but I mean, I just play the game, and whoever guards me, they got to guard me a certain way, and I'll figure it out, and I'll attack it, and I'll make my teammates better, and I'll score what I need to, and that's it. Like, it's pretty simple. I don't pay attention to who's guarding me or what. Like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna get to where I want to get to.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, James, you talked a bit about the Celtics. I'm just curious with Jaylen Brown being out, obviously they still have Kemba and Jayson Tatum. Was there a guy that maybe goes up in the scouting report to you with Brown being out that take a big responsibility that you got to worry about?
Evan Fournier. Yeah, who's showed in Orlando that he can score the basketball at a high clip. And just because, Jaylen Brown's out, we don't take this team light at all. They're very well coached, and they got, Kemba and JT who can get going, so we got to be prepared. We got to pay attention to the details, lock in on both ends of the ball, which we will. And yeah, we don't take this team light at all. We got a tough one on our hands.
Last question, Brian Mahoney, AP.
James, the Nets record, with and with, there's an enormous difference between the record, with and without you. 6 months ago, people said they don't need to make that trade for Harden, and then it became they can't win without Harden. Do you laugh at all about how much the story changed, and just how did you make yourself so important to this team without practice time and a training camp and stuff?
No matter what team I was gonna go to, it was gonna be like not like that, but like there's always a narrative when it comes to myself and how I play and my impact. There's always, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. There's always like a negative narrative when it comes to my name, which I don't really pay attention to because I know how impactful I am. And now you guys are, have an opportunity to see it, So, and there's not many guys that you can throw into a situation and he can, take a step back from scoring and facilitate, or if you need him to go score 40, and there's not many guys in this league that can do that. So, for all the media, you guys got to take that into consideration when you mentioning James Harden's name. But I'm just happy to be here in Brooklyn now, and I'm excited for this journey that we got going on, and I can't wait. Love, peace, happiness.
Thanks, James.